everyone, get ready for a captivating journey that will leave you craving for more.
From exploring the depths of our world to understanding the human psyche. Come join us on this adventure. I'm Tyler.
And I'm Elizabeth.
And this is the Edible Attitude Podcast. Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
How are you tonight, dear?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm good. I'm great.
Fantastic.
Yeah. What'd you end up doing over the weekend? Or how's your week been so far?
My week's been fine.
Learn anything new?
I know I probably did, but I don't remember at the moment.
I feel the same. Fun fact.
Ooh.
Did you know avocados are not vegetables?
Are they fruits? Because there's a nut in them?
They are fruits.
Mm-hmm.
They're considered a single-seeded berry.
Yeah, that makes sense. Because look at, like, apricots, peaches, nectarines.
I haven't heard the word apricot in a long-ass time. Where do we get those? And I've never had one.
Store?
What do they taste like? Have you ever had one?
Yeah, I'm not really sure how to explain what they taste like. Kind of like a peach, kind of? I don't know.
So we have tangerines, nectarines, and oranges that are kind of all taste kind of the same citrusy flavor, right?
Okay, no, because, yeah, nectarine is...
It's like a
It's a peach.
It's a peach?
Nectarine and peaches.
Nectarine?
Nectarine is the non-fuzzy peach.
A nectarine, a peach, and a apricot are all kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
But oranges and tangerines are also kind of the same?
Oranges, like clementines.
Oh, yeah, clementines. That's the other one I was trying to think of. That's so weird. Why can't
those are citrus or lemons or limes?
Why can't we just call them like...
Grapefruit. Why is a grapefruit a grapefruit?
That's another... Because it's squishy like a grape? I don't know.
No, that's ridiculous.
It's kind of squishy.
It is. I get it, but no.
Not even close.
Not even close. Not even once.
If we were to rename a grapefruit, what would we call it? What would you call it?
Oh, man, I don't know. Pink orange?
Pink orange?
I am very not
but
creative.
It doesn't... Is it citrusy? I guess it is.
Yes.
Like it's...
Have you not seen a grapefruit?
No, I've had grapefruit before. It tastes like shit.
No, I love grapefruit.
If you add sugar to it, though, it tastes way better.
I'll drink grapefruit juice.
Ooh.
So good.
I feel like it's too tart for me.
Yeah.
Because I like sour stuff or spicy stuff better, but the tartness, it just makes my cheeks do the thing.
That's unfortunate. Grapefruits are a good thing.
So what's the difference between clementines then?
Clementines are those cuties, those little oranges.
Oh, those are clementines.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so why can't we just name them like normal size orange, smaller orange? Like they're just oranges. They're just different sizes.
They're citrus.
Yeah, no, but why do we got to give them... Why not just call them all citrus fruits? Group them together. They're just citrus.
They are citrus groups. We can eat fruit, but a lime tastes different than a lemon, and a lemon tastes different than an orange, and an orange tastes different than a grapefruit. You can't just categorize them all the same. Then you have all those other kinds of oranges, like cara or blood oranges, or...
But they're all citrusy, right?
Yes, but they all kind of have their own flavor.
So small citrus, red citrus, pink citrus. Sure. Just call them citrus.
There's also, I think, pink oranges, probably.
Are there pink oranges?
I think so. I think the cara are pink, now that I think about it. Anyway, I have no idea. I'm not the one that named them, so I don't know.
Fair enough.
Why are blueberries called blueberries when they're purple?
Well, a man named them because he was colorblind.
Oh, that makes sense.
If a woman named it, she'd be like, that's a purple berry.
Mm-hmm. We would have had a better name.
Well...
That's blue, and it's a berry blueberry.
For how long blueberries have been around?
Forever.
Some dude probably found it and was like, that's a blueberry. And all his friends were like, yay, good job, buddy.
Yeah, it's probably exactly what happened.
Blueberries. We found blueberries. Blueberry.
Burry.
So what's our topic this week, dear?
Our topic is the smiley face killers.
Like Ronald McDonald.
Absolutely. We gotta watch out with those golden arches. Now, there's this whole smiley face killer theory going around.
Oh, still, right now.
It's died off a bit in the last few years, but it's still happening. There's no rhyme or reason. I'll get into that a little later.
Okay.
When I was searching for that, I came across another one, and they call him smiley face killer. They also call him happy face killer. So I thought, why not?
Sure.
If that's okay.
Sounds the same.
It's not, but yes.
I mean, he does the face thing, right? I have no clue. I'm just guessing.
Oh, gotcha.
All right. Well,
okay.
Let's get in it.
All right.
Pitter patter, let's get at her.
Pitter patter, let's get at her. That's a good one. I like it. Actually, I don't. I hate it. All right, so the first one we're talking about is...
Wait. That was a good one. Why?
I was just teasing.
Why don't you like it? I'm hurt.
Are you?
Sometimes.
I'm sorry to hear that.
My theme song is Hurt by Johnny Cash. I
Is it?
hurt myself today. Because I usually do.
It's very true. It's very rare you come home from work without an injury.
I wouldn't say injury. It would just be like a nick or something.
Well, it's better than busting your chin open, so whatever.
That's fair. Only did that once so far. Let's see if I can do it again.
So far.
Yeah, so far. You never know. Shit happens.
Please don't do it again.
I can't make any promises.
Yes, you can. Yep.
My body does the thing.
Then I'm just going to have to... We're going to have to put carpet back in.
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Walls included.
In the kitchen,
in the
too.
kitchen, yes.
God, that's disgusting.
No, the bathroom's more disgusting.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I feel like we should put a white rug in there or a white carpet
That's
in there.
not.
And then we
I'm
can
good.
figure out how to properly clean that then.
No.
That would be such a fun project. We should totally do that.
Because when you say we, you mean me. And no thank you.
What? No, I would do it.
What?
Anyway, moving on.
Okay. The first dude we're talking about, his name is Keith Jepperson.
Keith.
Jepperson with a P, not an F.
Jepperson.
Correct.
He's a J person.
He was born on April 6, 1955, so he's still around and kicking, but...
Oh, he's still here.
He's still here.
He's still here.
He's a Canadian-American serial killer who murdered at least 8 women in the United States during the early 90s. He was known as the Happy Face Killer because he drew smiley faces on his many letters to the media and authorities.
So just on the letters, not on the people. Like he didn't do the Black Dahlia thing.
No, I did not come across any that did that.
Okay.
Many of his victims were sex workers and transients who had no connection to him.
So like Jack the Ripper.
More like pretty much any serial killer. Well, I know you don't follow that.
Yeah, I really don't.
But,
So I don't know.
If we do occasional serial, that's a common theme you'll see. It's usually transients or prostitutions or whatever. Prostitutes. So.
You want to elaborate on transients?
Transients just means someone that doesn't have a home. Kind of like a hobo.
Homeless people.
If you want to call them a hobo, back in the, during the Great Depression, they rode the rails.
Okay.
They call them hobos, but now they just call them transients because they just go from place to place. Yeah, homeless people that are just floating around.
Okay.
People that don't really have a family, and if they go missing, nobody knows they went missing.
Right.
So, those are easy targets.
Well, when you put it that way, makes sense.
Right. Sad, but it's true.
Yeah.
Strangulation was Jefferson's preferred method of murdering, the same method he often used to kill animals as a child.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's a telltale sign.
Mm-hmm. After the body of his first victim was found, media attention surrounded a woman who falsely confessed to having killed Bennett with the help of her abusive boyfriend. Upset that he was not getting any media attention, Jefferson drew a smiley face on a bathroom wall hundreds of miles from the scene of the crime and wrote an anonymous letter confessing to Bennett's murder, providing proof.
Oh, so he did the deed and wrote and drew a smiley face a ways away.
Right. But this was a while after he killed his first victim.
We're talking
because
days?
It doesn't say how long.
Okay.
It's just because someone else is saying, hey, no, I killed this person, and he doesn't like that because he's the one that did it. He wants recognition.
Right. Mm-hmm. Has to be a star.
When that did not elicit a response, he began writing letters to the media and authorities. Jefferson's last victim was a crime that ultimately led to his capture. While he has claimed to have killed as many as 160 people, only 8 murders have been confirmed. Jefferson is currently serving a sentence of life without parole in the Oregon State Penitentiary.
Okay. Does he have a specific MO other than the smiley face? Like I know the difference, the main difference between all of these troubled individuals. They all have their MO.
Mm-hmm.
Like everybody does. And I feel like the background is eerily similar to a lot of them, but how they do it is
different.
Very different.
Absolutely. He preferred to strangle.
That was his MO.
That was his, yeah.
Okay.
So Jefferson was born, like I said, on the 6th of April, 1955, to parents Leslie and Gladys in Chilliwack, British Columbia, Canada. He was the middle child with 2 brothers and 2 sisters. His father was a domineering alcoholic, according to Jefferson. His paternal grandfather was prone to violence. Jefferson's father denied being an abusive parent. However, he got beat as a child and, So treated like an outcast and a black sheep by his own family and teased by other children for his large size at a young age, Jefferson was a lonely child who showed a propensity for torturing and killing animals.
So he was a chunky boy who liked killing
animals.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
After moving to Selah, Washington, United States, he had trouble fitting in and making friends because of his large size. His brothers did not help him. Instead, they nicknamed him Igor, or Eeg.
Igor the Terrible, here he comes.
A name that stuck throughout his school years. Because of this, Jefferson was a shy child, content to play by himself much of the time. He would often get into trouble for behaving badly, sometimes violently, and would be severely punished by his father.
I bet, being an alcoholic.
Yeah. This included beatings, sometimes with a belt in front of others, and in one case he received an electric shock.
Oh my.
At a very early age, as young as 5, Jefferson would capture and torture animals.
Did you say 5?
I said 5.
Holy crap. How did he even... I mean...
just go outside. Like, the kids go out and play in the creek. With the frogs and stuff. They just capture them and start torturing them. This was in the 60s, so kids would just go out. We don't... people helicopter parent their kids nowadays. They never did that before.
Yeah.
No, I don't think we should have to, but that's another story.
Yeah, I agree.
At a very early age, as young as 5, Jefferson would capture and torture animals. He enjoyed watching animals kill each other, as well as the feeling he got from taking their lives. This continued as he got older.
So wait, he put on, like, gladiator fights?
He must. I'm sure he did.
In what, his fucking garage?
Probably just in his backyard.
Actually, that's a good... I would be okay with gladiator fights, okay? For the sake of science.
For the sake of science.
Like, I wonder if this animal and this animal get along. Oh, they clearly don't. Well, this should be fun to watch, I mean, it's just something that all boys... all people, I think.
I think it's different if you're doing that and not letting nature take its course, like if they're predators.
Yeah, that's true.
But if you are killing them, that's not okay.
Nope.
No.
Well, unless it's for meat. Unless it's for meat.
Well, it's about...
Hunting's different.
He's not hunting.
He's not hunting.
He's just hunting because he wants to kill.
He's hunting for that blood sport.
Yeah. He likes the thrill.
Hmm.
Jefferson would capture birds and stray cats and dogs around the trailer park where he lived with his family, severely beating the animals and then strangling them to death, something for which he claims his father was proud of him. In the years following, Jefferson said he often thought about what it would be like to do the same to a human.
Well, he's probably hungry being a chunky boy. He's like, I just want to eat them birds.
The birds.
Pigeon. Yum.
What about a fucking goat?
Did he strangle a goat?
I don't
know.
Who knows? He's a trailer park. Probably no goats in the trailer park.
How do you catch the birds? That's my thought.
Just, patience. People would feed birds. I don't know how hard it would be, and look at crows. You can make friends with crows.
It's
but that
true.
would be so sad.
All the crows around here just don't give a shit.
You didn't try.
What am I supposed to do? Here, buddy.
Yeah.
Come here.
Yeah, just leave little things on the railing of the deck.
No, the squirrels would come and get them.
That's true.
That's bullshit!
Goddamn fat-ass squirrels.
Yeah, we need to get our...
They're huge.
We need to let the cat outside and let him take care of them.
Oh, he'd love it. He'd be so happy. He'd never come home.
He'd go crazy. He'd be like, this is amazing. Damn autistic cat.
I thought he was acoustic.
Oh, yeah, acoustic. That's what he was. Sorry.
That desire manifested in 2 attempted murders. The first happened when Jefferson was around age 10.
Oh, my God.
when he was friends with a boy named Martin. The two would often get into trouble together, and Jefferson claimed he was often punished many times for things Martin had done and shifted the blame. This led Jefferson to violently attack Martin until his father pulled him away. He later claimed his intention was to kill the boy. Approximately 1 year later, Jefferson was swimming in a lake when another boy held him underwater until he blacked out. Sometime later at a public pool, Jefferson attempted to drown the boy by holding his head under the water until a lifeguard pulled him away.
Good God.
He's angry.
Yeah.
That's really what it boils down to, is he's angry.
Well, he got made fun of all the time. He got beat. Like, his life wasn't happy.
He got beat by his abusive dad. His brothers weren't, yeah, I could see why he'd be a little perturbed.
And they called him Igor.
Yeah. I wonder why they call him the Igor.
I don't know. It was because Igor was Dr. Frankenstein's helper, right? Mm-hmm. So maybe he, hunched over like Igor.
That could be. I'm assuming he probably hunched over because he was trying to make himself smaller.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know if he was like a big boy. They just said he was big. Doesn't mean he was fat. He could have been tall.
We're just going with big boy.
Just big boy.
Big boy.
Just big boned. Jefferson reported that he was raped at age 14. He graduated from high school in 1973.
Oh, we're just going to move past that, huh?
Apparently.
Good Lord.
Yep. He graduated from high school in 1973, but did not attend college because his father did not believe he could do it. Although Jefferson was not successful with girls in high school, having never even attended a school dance or his prom, he did enter into a relationship after high school. In 1975, when Jefferson was age 20, he was married, and the couple had 3 children, 2 daughters and 1 son. Jefferson worked as a truck driver to support the family.
Oh, okay.
Several years later, his wife began to suspect Jefferson was having affairs when strange women would call.
Oh.
Tension in the marriage increased, and after 14 years, while Jefferson was on the road, his wife packed up her children and belongings and drove 200 miles to live with her parents in Washington. The oldest child was 10 years old. Jefferson continued to spend time with his children when he was in town. The couple divorced in 1990.
I'm glad nothing bad happened so far.
At age 35, standing 6'7" and weighing approximately 255 pounds.
Damn, he was a fucking linebacker. Good Lord.
He wasn't fat. He should be 255.
He was a literal big boy.
He was a big boy, yeah.
Oh my God. He could have played professional football and been totally fine. Or even basketball.
Could have, yeah. Jefferson began working toward the goal of joining the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Yeah, I would too, because if you seen a giant riding a horse, you'd be like, what the hell? I'm not doing anything. I'll go with you. I don't care. I'm done. Hands up. I give up.
But an injury suffered while training ended his endeavor. He then sought work again as an interstate truck driver after relocating to Washington. Jefferson soon realized that his job afforded him the opportunity to kill without being suspected.
Oh, now he realized that? I mean, he could have realized that before.
Doesn't sound like he's the sharpest tool in the shed, my dude.
He's just a big boy.
He's just a big boy.
He's just big.
He's just a meathead. Anyway, this next part will be about his victims. The ones that we know about. Because like I said earlier, he claims that he's killed over 160 people.
Sure.
But they've only really connected 8 to him.
Only 8, huh?
Only, quote unquote, only 8.
Well, if you kill prostitutes and hobos, I mean, you're not going to find the bodies.
Right.
And no one's going to give a shit.
Correct.
Especially if they don't have any family.
Right. Or if they do, they're disowned and they don't care.
Right.
Or I saw this...
Or they don't know.
Right. Yeah, like I saw this documentary the other day where this guy died and he didn't have any ID or anything on him, and they eventually tracked down his parents. They're like, oh, I didn't even know he was missing. He moved away years ago and we haven't heard from him since. How do you do that? Regardless if your child's 40 or 20, how do you just like, oh, he doesn't want to talk to me anymore?
Well, some people are like that. Some people just kind of, okay, do your thing. We'll be here if you want to talk.
Yeah, I'm sure other things happen. That's just...
Sure.
Facial reconstruction of the unidentified woman found in 93, who Jefferson stated was named Carla. She was identified as 45-year-old Patricia Skipple in 2022.
So not Carla.
Not Carla. And it took almost 30 years for her to be identified.
Good Lord, what happened to her?
He killed her. He just, he strangled her.
Well, I get that, but why did it take so goddamn long?
I'm assuming, I didn't look into that one too much, but I'm assuming because they had to do a facial reconstruction.
Holy shit.
something bad happened, or they found her too late.
Oh, yeah.
So
Decomposition and all that.
yeah, all that jazz.
Mm-hmm.
His first known victim was Tanya Bennett on 21st of January 1990 near Portland, Oregon. He introduced himself to Bennett at a bar and invited her to a house he was renting. After getting into an argument with Bennett, he strangled her to death with his hands and disposed of her body.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all about power with these dudes. That's really what it is.
Sounds like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why you can't use your words.
Mm-mm.
Gotta use your hands.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we can be adults. Come on now. Or they just don't know how to be adults.
That could be. Or they just so angry they just see red.
Mm.
I am not by any means justifying any of this. I think it's horrible and horrific.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I
but
agree.
it's just, like
there's no thought process behind it.
There really isn't.
It just kind of happens.
And they just say that thing just, takes over their brain and says, you want to kill this person, then they do it.
I wonder if they're born without...
Oh, for sure. There's lots of studies done about between how people are born, if they're predetermined to be a serial killer, and it really depends on how they were raised, like nature versus nurture.
I know that is the case in a lot of these serial killers.
Not all, but a lot.
But I don't think that's always accurate, because there's a lot of variables that can go into it that can prove it's not a viable reason.
Oh, sure.
Like, you could grow up just fine, and then all of a sudden one day you go through a terrible breakup with a girlfriend or boyfriend, and you can just flip a switch,
Right, exactly. And that's what I guess I'm not saying, like, how they were raised maybe all the time, but it's just something that's in them, and anything can make them snap.
Just sets them off.
Yeah, they're just predisposed. If the situation's right, they're predisposed to do that. Just like me. I'm predisposed to be a serial killer. Better watch out.
Are you?
No. I'm too meek for that.
Oh, thank God.
I get angry, but...
I know. I have the scars to prove it.
Watch yourself.
You pushing me down the stairs one night.
On August 30th, 1992, the currently unidentified body of a woman Jefferson had raped and strangled was found near Blythe, California. Jefferson gives the Jane Doe's name as Claudia. A month later, in Turlock, California, the body of Cynthia Rose was discovered. Jefferson claims Rose was a sex worker who entered his truck at a truck stop while he slept.
Oh, she's a lot lizard.
Yeah.
Okay.
His fourth victim was another sex worker.
Another lot lizard?
Yeah, whose body was found in November of 92. According to Jefferson, she attempted to double the fee she charged for the sex he had been engaged in with her. She threatened to call the police, and he strangled her.
Perfectly reasonable reaction.
Oh, sure.
You're charging me too much money. I'll kill you. Maybe we need to do that to big corporations.
Just
You're charging me too many taxes, America. I'm going to strangle you.
I don't think it'll work.
Has anybody tried?
Yeah.
I'm not going to try, but has anybody tried?
Well, yeah, presidents get assassinated. Well, it hasn't happened in a while, but,
It's been a hot minute.
I mean, they tried to assassinate Reagan.
Yeah.
But I don't think they've tried to assassinate any other ones.
If they have, nothing is...
We don't know any about
Yeah,
it.
we don't know about it.
If you are enjoying this topic and you would like to talk more about it,
you can find us at Edible Attitude or at Edible Attitude Podcast
on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. So Jefferson killed his next victim in June of 93 in Santanella, California. She was a previously unidentified woman named Patricia Skipple, who he claimed was named Carla or Sydney.
What is up with him and Carla? That's like the third woman.
Maybe it was just a common name back then.
He's just like, Carla?
Yeah, that's probably what it is. In September of 94, another Jane Doe was found in Crestview, Florida. Jefferson had previously said that her name was Suzanne, and she was identified as Suzanne L. Kellenberg on October 3rd, 2023.
Oh, he got that one right.
Yeah, that was another 30 years before she was identified. That's sad.
Good Lord.
Jefferson was arrested on March 30th, 1995 for the murder of Julie Winningham. He had been questioned by police a week before, but they had no grounds to arrest him, and he refused to talk. In the days following, Jefferson decided that he was certainly going to be arrested, and after 2 suicide attempts, turned himself in, hoping it would result in leniency during his sentencing. While in custody, Jefferson began revealing details of his killings and making claims of many others, most of which he later recanted. A few days before his arrest, he wrote a letter to his brother in which he confessed to having killed 8 people over the course of 5 years. This led police agencies in several states to reopen old cases, many of which were found to be possible victims of Jefferson.
So he just gave himself up, huh?
Well, he figured, as they were questioning him, that they got something on him and he couldn't kill himself.
So they had nothing and just
Nothing
basically...
concrete.
Yeah. Huh. How about that? Good job, cops, for unintentionally doing your job.
Although Jefferson at one point claimed to have had as many as 160 victims, only the 8 women killed in Washington, Oregon, California, Florida, Nebraska, and Wyoming have been confirmed. He is serving 3 consecutive life sentences at the Oregon State Penitentiary in Salem. In September 2009, Jefferson was indicted in Riverside County, California, on murder charges. He was extradited in December of 2009. He is convicted of another murder and received a 4th life sentence in January of 2010.
His map is awfully weird.
Well, he's a truck driver.
I know, but why in those states? I get like Washington and California because they're basically right next to each other. But if there's a Florida one.
There's a lot of people that drive truck across the country.
But he had to have stopped somewhere else. Why those states specifically? Just because he found what he was looking for?
Well, that's probably why he says there's a lot more. Because there probably are a lot more. But at this point, he's in prison for the rest of his life and no possibility of parole, so it doesn't really matter.
Plus, it's been years. They'll never find the shit.
For 30 years.
Yeah.
Because he's been in prison for 30 years.
Yeah.
So at this point, it doesn't matter.
It's true.
It does, but it doesn't.
It does matter, but like you said, at the same time, it doesn't.
So the reason why I included him in this is because at one point, they were calling him the happy face killer with the smiley faces and stuff.
Did he only do that once, or was there multiple times?
Well, he would write letters to newspapers and cops and police stations and stuff, and then he'd write the smiley face.
Every time?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he was dubbed the happy face killer.
You know, it's really the media that gives them power.
100%.
Because they give them names, and they're like, oh, I got a superhero name. Neat, but it's like not a superhero name. It would be something cool like Phaser or Light Boy.
A lot of times they give their own name. Like BTK gave his own name. Son of Sam gave his own name.
That's true. It doesn't happen all the time. It doesn't happen a lot. Usually the media's like, oh.
Oh, yeah. Back then, like the Zodiac Killer, I'm pretty sure that was a newspaper came up with that one. The Black Dahlia, obviously. That was just her nickname. That they
the
called
Milwaukee
her.
Cannibal.
Wasn't that Ed Gein?
No. That was
a whole nother one?
That was Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, yeah, duh. But Ed Gein was a cannibal, too. But I don't remember where he's from.
He was from Point Pleasant.
Point Pleasant. Isn't that in the Milwaukee area? I don't know. I live here. I just don't know.
I thought that was north. Look at a map.
Yeah, don't make me do all the work. God. Okay, so that's all I have on Jefferson.
Fair enough.
So, this next one, it's a theory on the smiley face murders. So, do you know anything about any of it?
No.
Okay.
I'm going into this blind. I have heard of them, but I don't know any details whatsoever.
Okay, so there was, and there still is, this whole thing about these young men leaving college parties or bars, and they're all, young men, like 19, 20, early 20s, something like that. They're finding them drowned in the river. And this is in Wisconsin, in Illinois, in a bunch of different states.
Like all over the country?
All over the country.
Oh, okay.
And the reason why they call it the smiley face murders is people claim that at every time there's a body found, there's a smiley face.
Uh-huh.
The smiley face murder theory, also known as the smiley face murders, smiley face killings, and smiley face gang.
What's a gang?
Well, they feel like that has to be because it happens so often and so frequently in other places.
Huh, good point.
Is a theory advanced by retired New York City detectives Kevin Gannon and Anthony Duarte, as well as Dr. Lee Gilbertson, a criminal justice professor and gang expert at St. Cloud University. It alleges that 45 young men found dead in bodies of water across several Midwestern American states from the late 90s to the 2010s did not accidentally drown, as concluded by law enforcement agencies. But
45 of them, huh?
Mm-hmm.
For 2 decades?
Yep.
Jeez.
But were victims of a serial killer or killers. So that's why...
They think that there's more than one.
Well, yeah, I think they feel like they would have to be, because it's across several states.
Unless they're...
a truck driver.
Moving really fast.
The term smiley face became connected to the alleged murders when it was made public that the police had discovered graffiti depicting a smiley face near locations where they think the killer dumped the bodies in at least a dozen of the cases. Gannon wrote a textbook case study on the subject titled Case Studies in Drowning Forensics. The response of law enforcement investigators and other experts has been largely skeptical. As recently as 2017, Gannon and Durate were examining evidence going back to the late 1990s that they believe connects the deaths of 45 college-age males whose dead bodies were found in water in 11 states, often after leaving parties or bars where they had been drinking. The men, according to the former detectives, often fit a profile of being popular, athletic, and successful students, and most were white.
Damn, that's crazy. What the fuck?
What the fuck indeed.
So, drunk college guys, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Well, there's an abundance of them.
Yeah, a bunch have been pulled out of the Mississippi River up in La Crosse.
Is it just men?
Mostly. Yeah.
What was the specific age?
College age.
Anybody can go to college, like 18 to 25?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. Go on.
Gannon and Durate have theorized that the young men were all murdered, either by an individual or by an organized group of killers.
Okay.
Other police forces that have investigated the deaths dispute the conclusion that the cases are linked. Police departments that are involved do not currently view the deaths associated with smiley faces present at the scenes as serial killer activity. The La Crosse, Wisconsin Police Department, which was in charge of 8 of the investigations, concluded that the deaths were accidental drownings of inebriated men and stated that no smiley face symbols were found in connection with any of the cases. So yeah, there's been 8 up in La Crosse.
Only 8, huh?
Only?
Well, there's 45
Right now,
total.
Right now there's a whole thing, like in the Chicago area.
Oh, he's moving.
There's a bunch of men going missing, young men going missing down there.
Smiley faces are all over
I don't
the place.
know about that.
Wonder if he's this entity. I'm not going to give him or her a name. It's just going to be an entity. Wonder if this entity is changing it up then if there's no smiley faces to be heard of.
I mean, he can do it himself, but they're saying like he has a can of spray paint and makes a smiley face where he dumps the bodies.
Yeah, but like now you're saying in the Chicago area.
Oh, sure.
They're not finding anything there?
Not that I could find.
Maybe he ran out of spray?
Maybe just didn't want to be a smiley face killer anymore.
Maybe. This is the Russians.
Always the Russians.
It's always the Russians.
That's bullshit!
The Center for Homicide Research published a research brief that also attempted to scientifically refute the theory. In March 2009, Lee Gilbertson, a criminal justice faculty member at St. Cloud State University, voiced his support for the theory on an episode of Larry King Live in which the alleged murders were discussed. Criminal profiler Pat Brown calls the serial killer theory ludicrous, arguing that the evidence does not fit what is known about serial killers. Brown also believes that the smiley face images found in some of the cases are likely nothing more than coincidences based upon guesses as to where the bodies entered the water, with smiley face graffiti only found after a wide area search.
Huh, so he just kind of places it wherever.
Well, sure, and this is, people trying to grasp at straws because it's, one or two guys, or you shouldn't even say guys.
Entities.
One or two people falling into a river when they're drunk and drowning. I get that, but when there's 8 in one spot and like 20 in another spot and 10 in another spot, that's kind of weird.
Spring cleaning for 2 decades.
God, just taking the trash out.
I
mean,
guess.
that's awful to say because, these guys were somebody's sons and...
Yeah, well, what if they were pieces... Like, we don't
know.
We don't know their background. Okay.
But no one deserves to be murdered.
Yeah, but what if they're pieces of shit?
Oh, okay. Well, whatever.
Like, they're just abusive and they don't want to change their ways. It's like, well, take the trash out. Maybe he's just being a vigilante. He's just testing the waters. I'm Batman.
It's not an unusual symbol, she told the Minneapolis-based newspaper City Pages. If you look in any area 5 miles square, I bet you could find a smiley face.
Well, yeah.
So the FBI issued the following statement.
Ooh, big boys coming in with the...
Back in 2008.
Oh, it's been a...
Hot minute,
huh?
The FBI has
been at least 2 years.
At least.
Minimum.
More like 16, but let's...
Minimum.
Minimum. The FBI has reviewed the information about the victims provided by 2 retired police detectives who have dubbed these incidents the smiley face murders.
Oh, so it's their fault.
And interviewed an individual who provided information to the detectives. To date, we have not developed any evidence to support links between these tragic deaths or any evidence substantiating the theory that these deaths are the work of a serial killer or killers. The vast majority of these instances appear to be alcohol-related drownings. The FBI will continue to work with the local police in the affected areas to provide support as requested.
Well, yeah, you gotta make it look like an accident. Like, oh no, 8 guys are slipping on ice. That's what they probably came up with.
Yeah, because it, happened in the winter a lot of the time.
Sure.
So. But there's also a bridge. I'm sure you've been up to La Crosse enough times. Some kids have to cross the bridge to get back to the dorms or over to French Island or...
Yeah, and they just hear the call of the void and jump in. Is that what happens?
I mean, that does happen.
I mean, I've experienced the call of the void quite a lot, but never have I acted upon it.
Were you ever drunk or inebriated in any sort of way when that's happened?
No, I get all smiley and I hug people.
So, Ruben Rosario, the St. Paul Pioneer Press, has questioned Gannon's motives, stating that Gannon has failed to provide any factual evidence that a group of killers exist. Rosario noted that the original reporter on the theory and some of the parents of the deceased have since expressed skepticism despite initially supporting the idea. Another parent is working with Peel and others, but their main goal is to convince police to take a second look at cases of alcohol-related drownings. So while this all could be a very strong coincidence, and, these guys are drunk, and their brains aren't completely formed, and shit happens. So this very well could just be a very tragic call of the void, so to speak.
It's an odd thing that happened, though. With 8 guys?
That's just La Crosse, yeah.
Right, that's just La Crosse.
But I didn't look.
They're all slipping on the same damn rock, or what the fuck? And they all died from drowning.
Yes.
And there's no other,
They were drunk and they drowned.
That was it.
Mm-hmm. There's no injuries.
There's no weird bruises anywhere?
Not anything that couldn't be explained away by falling into a river or slipping on the ice,
I figured it out.
Oh, did you? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
Ready?
Yeah.
All 8 of these guys, they have their own group of friends, right?
Sure.
So, at least one of them, the ones who died, obviously, all got dared to jump in the river and swim. And they're like...
In the middle of winter?
Yeah. As soon as they did it, all of their friends are just like, well, we'll just wait for him later. And then they never find him. And then they forget that he's in the water because they're drunk. Problem solved.
And you don't know that. Maybe these guys were...
I just said problem solved. I
understand.
What did you not hear about that?
Okay, problem. All right, thanks for listening, guys. Yeah. That's all we got.
Figured it out. Wonderful.
All they needed to do was call up Tyler, and he figured it out in 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was so easy. I don't understand why the FBI couldn't see that.
I know, right?
It was right in front of their faces the whole time. Good Lord.
This is the people that we have trusted to keep us safe.
Yeah. Yeah, you trusted them?
No.
Nope, I sure didn't.
I don't trust the government, but again...
They just take my money.
They do. Bastards. But in reality, that's really all I got for you.
Oh. So, what about the Chicago ones? Are they all drownings too?
Yes. And to be fair, as I was finishing up research on this, that's when I started seeing that other stuff, and I didn't have enough time to throw that in there. So that's something I'd have to look up, because I don't know a lot about that. I just know that there's been a few guys going on social media saying that, some dude's trying to pick them up after, coming up next to them when they walking out of the bar and saying, hey, you need to ride home, sort of a thing. And some men have disappeared after that's happened and then found in the river. I mean, this could be a completely different thing.
Right.
But, that's happening in the Chicago area.
Huh. That's a wild thing to think about. And it's been going on for 2 decades at least.
Yeah.
Or, sorry, at least 2 years.
Yeah.
Huh.
But all these smiley face killers, quote unquote, murders, they're not really murders. It's been going on for a while.
And they got nothing still.
No, so that makes me think that I feel like they'd have some sort of a connection They got to find something in 20 or 30 years.
Well, when was the last victim in La Crosse?
Looks like 2006 was the last time.
So it's been a while.
That was a 10-year, between 97 and 2006. Eight men, boys, 'cause they were young.
And the last one was in 2006.
Correct.
That's odd that it would just go on a span and then stop. But then again, a lot of, serial killers have that urge, I guess you want to call it.
I'm looking at this article from the La Crosse Tribune, and it says since 97, 11 college-age men have drowned in the Mississippi and Black Rivers. Interesting.
Oh, not 8, 11, huh?
Yeah. It's saying that all the men had blood alcohol levels between 2.4 and 5.25
Holy
times the legal
shit.
limit to drive a car.
Hey, man, when you go out on a Friday night, you get hammered,
Yeah.
and you feel good, then you wake up like shit the next day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's one that was found way down by French Island. Everything else was concentrated down in like downtown La Crosse area.
Weird.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple up there. So I can understand the whole French Island thing. You're trying to get home, you know.
Yeah, you got to go over the bridge.
With this one, downtown La Crosse, the river is right there.
There's people everywhere.
But they got separated. Apparently all these guys got separated from their group.
How?
Exactly. Okay, you got it.
I got it.
All right.
Ready?
You are a dude, so.
They saw something shiny and they're like, hey guys, what's that? And then they just kind of wander off.
It's
and
probably,
then they slip
that
and fall.
probably is exactly what happened. Nope, I got it. It's a
The-
siren. She lives in the river, and she calls for them.
It's a manatee?
In the river? Sure, absolutely. Whatever you want to say.
A siren. Okay.
And she calls for them, and they're like, okay. And
Come
then,
help me.
Yeah, and then they drown.
Oh, it's not a...
And she's moved down the river now, so.
She's trying to find a mate.
Yeah.
She's probably dying.
Yeah, she's probably dead, and that's why there's no more.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or she gave up.
Yeah, Midwestern men probably aren't the best.
She's like, man, they don't taste good. Gotta keep them here.
Tastes like beer.
Tastes like beer, cheese, and burgers.
And sadness.
Sadness? Tastes like beer, cheese, and winter.
All right.
Wild. Huh.
Yeah.
Well, that's something to ponder. So 11, not 8.
See, I should have dug deeper, I thought I had, but I didn't. But, I'm just doing a little podcast. I don't need to go into the whole, we just want to have fun and give you a little bit of something to think about and talk about and research on your own. And serial killers and true crime, I'm a woman, so obviously it's something I enjoy doing.
Yeah, if everybody could pray for me, that'd be great.
Oh, my God.
I come home and Elizabeth tells me about her day and then goes on this wild rant of how she listens to true crime podcast, and I am scared for my life because at some point she's going to use her skills that she has acquired over the years of listening to this shit to make me disappear.
Doubt.
She's already pushed me down the stairs once, guys. Please help.
Oh, someday someone's going to believe you. And
No. I'm just doing this for evidence.
Oh, are you?
Oh, yeah. If it's uploaded to the internet, it's evidence now.
Then you can't put anything on the internet that's not true.
That's true. Or edit it out.
Absolutely. Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, thanks, guys, for listening. And gals.
Thanks for coming along.
Thanks for dealing with our shit.
Thanks for letting us entertain you. We appreciate it.
I do hope we entertain you.
I hope so. It's entertaining for us.
It sure is. And as always, I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Tyler.
And this is the Edible Attitude Podcast.